Hey, my name is Hannah, and today I will be talking about selecting and grouping data. When you talk about selecting and grouping data, you must group data together in order to get aggregates. The most commonly used aggregates are we have count, sum, minimum, maximum, average. So when you talk about count is all about the number of records in a table. These are records in the table. The sum and the average, these are the returns the sum. The sum returns the sum of values in a table. Average returns the number of average of values in a table. So they talk about the values in a table. Minimum, maximum, these two, they return the values of a column. So minimum returns the minimum value of a column in a column, and maximum returns the maximum value in a column. Hey, again, it's me here. I'll be showing you what I've been doing in my screen. So I was given a little assignment to create a table and populate it with the data. So here again, my name is Hannah. I'm here to show you how I created my table. So I had to create a table, and my table had to be not called the ball stats. So when I create the ball stat table, I had to create the player ID. It has to have a player ID, player name, player number, player position, assist, rebounds, game played, points, player couch. So when you talk about the player ID, I had to put the integer because it's a number. The player name is a varchar. You can put any value you want here. If I don't want my value to be more than or less than 50 or more than 50, that's my maximum value that I want the player name to have. So that way I put it a varchar. And then player number is an integer because it's a number. You can count it. It could be 1, 2, 3. So any number is an integer. And when you talk about the player position, it's a varchar. And I want it to have a maximum value of 50. And assist is an integer, rebounds, integer, games played, integer, points, integer, player couch, it's a varchar of 50. So varchar, and I had to put a varchar of maximum value of 50. And then creating my table, I had to create table, DBO, balls, these, I have to put the opening and have to close it. So when I run it, it won't give me the when I run it, it's not gonna run. It's gonna bring an error because I already ran it. So as you can see, it gives me a error. It tells me there is already an object named ballstats in the database. So, and when we look for it, I'll show you. Let me show you. So when we look for it, hold on just a minute. Numbers disappear. Oh, hold on. Just 1 second. Okay, let me pull my data again. 1 second. I'll have to pull my data. Okay, this is my table. Let's see. Pull my table. So this is the table I created, but I was given this script that I had to run it and populate my table. So when I run it, it had to give me execute. We can see 15 rows affected, meaning it has populated my table. So when we come here, this is my okay, you come here. So I was in the master database. That's why I created this table. So when I open my master, I have to click the little icon plus, and then I come to tables, and then I come look for my table, which is known as ball start, which is this. And we can see when we open the columns, we can see we have my player ID, we have the player name, the player number, the player position, the assists, rebounds, game played, points, player couch. So this is how I created my table. After that, I had to populate it with this, all this. And then after that, I had questions whereby I had to find the number of players at each position. So when I tried to find the number of players at each position, I had to select my player position and use the count aggregate as players from my table. And then I had to group by the player position because I'm looking for the player position. So when I run this, let's see what they bring. We execute. This is what we get. You see that? We have the player position and the players. This is the center, forward, guard. We have the numbers here, 15, 15, and we see the queries executed successfully. That's how you know your query went through. And then when we run, we are told, number 2, we are told to find the number of players assigned to each couch. So we use the select function, the select player couch counts, which is the aggregate, as the number of players from my table, which is the ball stats, grouped by the player couch. When we run it, you see, this is what we got. And then our next question, find the most points scored per game by position. So we select the player position. We use maximum because we are told the most points as maximum points from our table grouped by the player position. When we run this is what we got. And then we go to our next question. We are told to find the number of rebounds per game by couch. So by coach. So we have to select the player coach, the sum, which is the rebound, the sum of game played as the game rebounds from our table, which is the ball stats, and then we have to group by the player coach. So when we run it, that's what we get. We get Samsung, Garrett, Samsung, Thompson. So this is what we get. So let's go to the next. Find the average number of assists by coach. So we select player coach, average assist as average assist from our ball stats, which is our table, and then we group by the player coach. Let's run it. That's what we got. Let's go to number F. You're told to find the average number of assists per game by position. So here we are going to use the average aggregate because we are told to look for the average number of assists per game by position. So we use the player position, we average as average game assists from our table, and we group by the player position. Execute. This is what we get. Our final question, we are told to find the total number of points by each player position. We have to select the player position. We use the sum function, which is the sum, which is an aggregate function, as the total. And then from our table, then we group by the player position. When we run it and execute, this was we got. We got the center 1485, forward 1320, the guard 13 of, and we can see that the query executed successfully. That's how you know you have no errors in your query. So that's a short exercise that I had to show you that I had done, and I will try show you more of how to create tables, how to script, how to look for errors, and so on. So thank you for watching my video. See you in my next video. Bye bye.